Keep hearing about this guy.
This guy.
He's not shy, from what I've heard.
So do you know the secretary that you met last week who was helping out Viv?
Yes.
Just make sure we're not live.
No, I've got a great story to tell you.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
What? That you can tell here?
Well, basically, Mark, who's setting up the
no, you're not live.
Who's helping out with the secretary? Was a policeman all his career, and when you were the added extra in your filming time, that you were always in the same police station as he was as you were filming.
Oh right.
So he recognised you straight away.
Oh right.
He did rhyme off the programme. I just can't think what it was.
It wasn't World on Fire, was it?
Another one.
Not Early Doors then.
Early Doors, maybe. You'll have to ask him.
Okay.
Well, you're a hero.
Emmerdale. Many. You're a serial copper, basically.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's 20 actually.
Right.
Different rounds, anyway.
We're actually time to kick off. Okay. Welcome to New Year's Day at Broaders Park for It'll Be Off. Slightly colder than I thought it was going to be. Obviously, it doesn't affect Neil Reynolds, FC United man around, and I'm joined by James Quinn again. Happy New Year to you both.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So, just to go through matches since we last spoke, Grantham, a 4-0 win. Do you think that was over after 16 minutes?
Yeah, I mean,
more or less?
Yeah, when we said, no disrespect to Grantham, that we knew we had some really tough games coming up over the Christmas period, and we looked at the Grantham game as a game that we could and should have won. So we said to the lads, get out the traps early, let's try and get into a 2 or 3 goal lead and then make change in the second half and kind of rest the legs in preparation for Christmas. And I think that's exactly what we did after 16 minutes being 3-0 up, played some great football. And credit to the management team, they changed the shape, they nullified us a little bit. In the second half we kind of dictated the ball a lot, and great goal from Aaron Morris to seal the fourth. So a great win.
And it was interesting because Roy Sewell said before the game he could see this as a game where Grantham, a team that don't concede many goals, and obviously after a quarter of an hour or so that was dispelled, but it was a tribute to the fact that you broke down a team that probably came to defend and be an awkward squad, and you nullified that. And
we knew that about Grantham. We knew that they played a high line, and we knew that it was key to get the ball in behind quickly, and that's what we did. And we took the goals great, and the 3 points was great, and then we move on.
Ashton United, we knew that was going to be a physical test because of the state of the pitch, and it proved to be that. I mean, he was digging it out over the full 90 minutes.
Literally digging it out, probably one of the worst surfaces I've seen, my time in non-league football. But credit to the ground staff for getting the game on. I spoke to their chairman before the game, and they're talking about relaying a 4G pitch at the end of the season. I bet they can't wait for that, because that pitch is a tired, heavy pitch. But for us, we knew that we're going to have to change our style of play. We tried to play the way we play for the first 15 minutes. We knew that a couple of sticky back passes and balls wasn't travelling, so we changed and we went against our system, really about long ball going to diagonal areas. But it worked, and I thought without Cameron Belford did really well on 2 or 3 attempts that they had. But I thought the balance of play we deserved definitely to go 1-0 up. They then hit back with a cross that we should do better with. It came in too easy. But then the character again was immense, and a little bit of magic from Donoghue. A ball that deceives everybody and deceived Greg Hartley, their keeper, and ends up in the back of the net for another away day victory. But a great celebration scene at the end.
For me, the whole point, you took the word character is used a lot, but it's, to me, the team's finding different ways to win games. You've got 2 classic contrasts there with Grantham, but is that, in a way, is character? Is it about keeping a clear head when you're not panicking? So we got a late goal, 77th minute penalty. They equalise in the 90th minute. It was so easy to go for the team to go, oh, we've thrown this away. And as with Lancaster, that thing of being able just to keep a clear head, so that Donoghue puts a beautiful ball in that's so hard to defend.
When I put it in my programme notes today, James, that you come across really special dressing rooms once, twice in your career if you're lucky, and I believe I've got that here. There's a real inner belief in that dressing room, not because of what I do, because of what they do and what they do outside of training and football games as well, that they're never beaten. They had to lose against Grantham and Hyde and Scarborough. They had to concede last minute against Whitton to know how much that hurts. And when we conceded 2 late on against Lancaster, it hurt them on the pitch. When we conceded late on against Ashton, it hurt them, and they've got that inner belief now and that quality to go and put it right. And are we going to win in the last minute of every game every week? No, we're not, nor do we want to do. But it just shows that we've got a different set of characteristics in that dressing room, and belief and quality together will take us a long way this season.
You mentioned the players and the effort and the characters in the dressing room, but also, is there an element of changing the shape and the style of play, comparing teams to say that will come at us, such as South Shields and Basford in the first game, and then teams that will sit back, dig in, look for a draw, our players on the break to nick a goal?
Yeah, so we do. And in the dressing room we do a lot on our structure and our shape. Yes, we do have a kind of a 4-1-2-3-1 of playing, if you will, but depending on who we're playing determines how deep we go, how high we go, how condensed we go, how many passes we're going to take on the ball, how many times is it going to take us to get to the final third. There's a lot that goes into match there. We know how to break Radcliffe down today, and it will be different to how we broke Ashton down and how we broke Grantham down. So you've got to look at every single game and prepare that way, and the lads have got the instructions today, and they've executed the game plan really successfully over the first part of the season, so hopefully do it again today.
Is that something you've developed and improved over the season, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I tried to do it last season with a group that didn't really want to do it or couldn't do it. This group are hungry and they want to learn all the time. They're really keen in the team talk, in training. When we get together, they want to learn, they want to get better, and they fully understand our set piece routines. They fully understand our shape. They fully understand what's expected of them from the the analysis vests that we do. So there's individual tests for them there, but there's also a collective team test for them, and they're rising to it.
Pitch is looking good today.
Yeah,
obviously. For Radcliffe, so we'll be looking to play our passing football, but again, Radcliffe might have their own ideas. Yeah,
I mean, listen, credit to the ground staff as always. I can't pay them enough compliments. Again, it's fantastic when you look at the debacle of the surface that we went and played on last week, and then you can see the way Graham and Jimmy prepared it today. It's immaculate. We know what Radcliffe are about. We've played them 3 times this season. It's been a very physical encounter. For whatever reason, we haven't drummed up that kind of like animosity between two clubs, but there is a little bit between them and us, and I'm no doubt they're going to bring it again today. They've got a great side. They've got some great players with pace, and they're not fifth for no reason. They've been on a really good run, so we know that we're going to have to be our very best to get something from the game. We've got a points total in mind, and it's important for us that we stay as high as we can do in the league table.
In terms of the spectrum of what teams are like, Radcliffe, do you think they've got where they have been by being a footballing side or more of a physical, destructive side?
I think a little bit of both. I think we've got to credit them. They're a big set of boys. They're good on set pieces. They're physical off the ball. They're physical on the ball, and that's probably one thing that my team isn't. We can mix it at times, but we're not overly strong. But I like us to play football, and I try to allow us to overcome them kind of obstacles, and we know we've got obstacles in front of us today, but we also know that how to avoid that, how not to get involved in that. We're very strong on our discipline, and that's a key thing. That's both in the technical area and on the pitch. And I've said to the lads, brace yourselves, but let your football do the talking, and we say that every game. So really tough game today, but one that we can't wait for.
In terms of where the league's at, and obviously you as a professional, you will take each game as it comes and so on, but it seems to me that there was a side in South Shields that threatened to run away with it at one stage and have clearly become vulnerable. Lancaster looking strong, but then they were 2-1 up with a few minutes to go on Boxing Day, lost 3-2. It seems to me this league is crying out for somebody to say, one team to say, this is our league. There's several teams jostling for position, but now that South Shields are clearly vulnerable, and in a way, if you were being objective, you would say, looking at, because FC are top of the form table, you'd say FC are the team possibly to carry on this run and take this league.
I mean, it should be South Shields, with the money that they've got, the spending power. I mean, they just signed Sefton Gonzalez from Preston to travel to Newcastle 3 hours a week last night on silly money. It should be South Shields on a nearly full-time basis. It should be Warrington, it should be Buxton, it should be Ashton on their budgets, but it's not. And FC United have done something that's remarkable this season. We're not getting above our station. We said top 10 finish. We said 1.5 points per game, but we're not going to complain where we are. And people who know me will know exactly what my ambition will be this season. And if South Shields continue to slip on, if Lancaster do, and we continue to gain momentum, then brilliant. We've got a real an inner belief in that dressing room what we want, and we can't shout about it because we haven't got the spending power to shout about it. But what we have got is a special group that have got a real ambition to do wonderful things this season.
So, I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better run of results points tally over Christmas with that run of home games that we had. FC United on the travels after today for the rest of the month.
Yeah, I've looked at that. We're going to miss Broadhurst Park, but we've got to get this game out of the way. We've then got Hyde, and then we've got the mouth-watering FA Trophy tie against Atherton or Barrow, and then we'll just continue till the end of the month. We know we've got some massive games coming up, but we've got to play everyone home and away. So if they come back to back, they come back to back, and if they come sporadically, they come sporadically. But for us, we just got a points total for each game, and if we achieve that, then we'll have smiles on faces that come the end of the season.
Injuries and squad news for today?
Yeah, fully fit squad. I'm going to Finn Sinclair Smith's got his debut today. I'm not dropping Charlie Ennis, I'm resting him. He's played the last 8 or 9 games, and Ashton took a lot out of his legs. 29-30, it's hard. Chaz will probably come back in for the High game. Adam Dodd comes back in from his time away. Although George Shakori did brilliant for us. We'll get Doddy, ramping down that left-hand side again. But we're a fully fit squad. It's been difficult. I've had to leave Ash Young out of the squad. We've obviously got Myers and Paddy Wharton out on loan, and James Joyce and Rain Halliwell, to name a few. So the squad's in good spirits, but everybody wants everyone to do well. So we've got a really strong 16 on display today.
Current obviously till the end of January.
Yeah, brilliant. Alex a bit quiet away at Ashton, and then I spoke to him, and he desperately didn't want to go back. He wanted to stay here, and he thought that was his last game. And spoke to Jim Gannon. Stockport are flying. Alex has been doing really well here, so we'll take it month by month. But Alex, we've got him for another month, and I think we're really beginning to see his qualities. In particular at home, where he can stretch play. So for us, that's a great signing. And there is a really bit of exciting news that's going to be announced just before kick-off today. So I'll just encourage everybody to stay afield to see what that'll be.
And a lot of talk on the social media when the players tweet about the word togetherness keeps appearing. So is it a squad you think it's easy for someone like a new player to come into? For Finn to come into, that there's no problem about a new player coming in, they're made part of the squad straight away.
One of the key things about making signings in pre-season is that we didn't just watch the ability, we knew about the lads. 3-4 months we were watching these players and we knew everything about them. There is no egos down there. Everyone's got their feet on the floor, everyone can take instructions, everyone can be told when things don't go right, but everyone likes to be told when things do go right. And that was a key ingredient about putting together a squad this season. And for a squad that didn't know each other to be literally best friends and WhatsApping each other and texting each other on New Year's Eve about showing themselves on settees and home with the dogs and stuff. It was a real good atmosphere last night that we had, and that's what generated. And there's a real focus in that dressing room that we've been professional on New Year's Eve, and we're professional because we know we've got a massively tough game today. But they're a brilliant group, and they'll make anybody feel welcome.
So we've got some festive questions from around the ground we didn't have time to ask you during the last interview, and the first one's a really good one. So if you were down your local pub and people you knew asked about FC United, how would you sum us up in 60 seconds, the club and the team?
The biggest team in non-league football, a team that's built for Football League, a team that's got amazing volunteers and fans behind the scenes, a stadium that's worthy of being in the Football League, and a manager that's extremely proud to manage them. I couldn't be any happier to be where I am now, and grateful. And it's credit to everything that goes behind the scenes here and what's gone on. A special club that started 15 years ago that's had its up moments, and unfortunately it's had its down moments, but we're massively back on the up now, and as a manager I couldn't be happier, and all I want to do is get the smiles on people's faces, get them enjoying football, get them a team that everyone can be proud for, and let's get back to where we should be.
Another quick one. Do the playing and coaching staff understand the importance of community work we carry out beyond the 90 minutes off the pitch?
Absolutely. So, we all attended the Christmas party. We'll all attend the bowling event at the end of the season. We're all getting involved in the Big Coat Day next week, where staff and players are going to bring items to donate, staying behind after the game, speak to the supporters, being involved in the whole club, being members, the staff and players will be members of the club. So it's not just about what happens 90 minutes. This club is unique. And anybody that wants to buy into or share what we've got going on has got to prepare themselves for life at FC United, both on the pitch and off the pitch.
How are our young players doing out on loan? Harding, Palinkas, and Ozono, are they getting plenty of games, and are they likely to be back with us next season?
So it's important that them lads go out and play, and Zonzo went to Glossop, and Sam Harding went out to Clitheroe, and Prescott, Big Jan was at Wythenshawe, and they're doing well. They're doing well, but they look at FC United as a club that they want to return to. We're keeping tabs on them. We speak to their managers, and probably Will and Sam aren't getting as much football as what they want to do, but Big Jan Plinkas is, and he's definitely going to be a player for the future. And listen, when people have gone out on loan in the past, it may be the end of them. It's not the end of them. I've said that all along, and I hope I've proven that with the likes of Paddy Wharton and Louis Myers going out on loan. They will return.
And one last one. Having managed FC United in the non-league North, National League North, and with a new team in the Northern Premier League, do you believe we can now compete at a higher level on a consistent basis, i.e. not facing relegation again?
This team that I've got out there would not have got relegated from the National League North last season. In fact, they would have finished in the top 10. How hard is it to get out of the Northern Premier League now? It's really hard, and that's the kind of like the difficult factor to overcome, because if we would have had that chance last season, we would have done well and continued to build and probably knocking on the door of the playoffs or even promotion in the Conference North. But we're not. We're in the Northern Premier, which is a really hard league to navigate your way out of. But that's what we want to do, either this year, next year, or the year after. And I've said that we're building a squad here that I want for 2, 3, 4 years. So hopefully you got a young group of players, a hungry group of players that want to take FC to the next level. But I thoroughly believe and know with my ability, with their ability, with the coaching ability, with the ability of the club, that we'll hold our own easily in the National League North.
Well, that's it from us today. Thanks very much for watching, and we wish you all a safe, happy and prosperous new year. Thanks for watching.
Happy New